So, hey, this is Chris, and this is your timeless reading for whenever you find it. It's for you. Just take what resonates with you. Don't make it fit. There's an invitation for joy and happiness for off once. And the Ace of Swords. The Ace of Swords shows up in almost every reading so far, right? Why? Because we are entering a new consciousness. And this new consciousness could be an invitation for joy and happiness, you know? This Four of Wands energy is also a message that relax, okay? Nothing will go wrong. It's okay. You're almost there, right? Wrapping up the old consciousness and let the new consciousness shine. Let's just keep the Four of Wands at the bottom of the deck. And I'm doing past, present, future 3 cards this time. So the first card is you have planted your seeds. Maybe in your subconsciousness, maybe in your life. Pentacles energy is usually something material, you know, something real. Attend to that, attend to your seedlings. Do not try to force things, right? Don't try to push it. Don't try too hard. You planted your seedlings and the seedlings are growing on themselves. You know, you have to water them, you have to care for them. But this guy is waiting, you know, it's just observing, showing up for his little seedlings, right? So if you just show up and keep doing what you're doing, you're strong enough to do it. And strong enough in the sense that you have the energy, the focus onto what it is that you have planted. High Priestess energy, rest within this sureness, rest within this, I know what I want, I know what I focus my energy on, I focus my attention on, right? And you have to water these plants, right? You have to do something. You have to show up and actually do something physically. Pentacles energy, you have to do some work, of course, but not in the sense that you're trying to force something, but in the sense that you allow it to flow through you and allow it to just fall into place for you. There's the Ten of Swords, and the Ten of Swords is exactly this energy, Swords energy force, you know, ego energy. You're working with the universe, you're working with powers that you not fully understand, right? That are just higher than yourself. But you have to trust these powers, and these powers will serve you, right? If you keep your focus aligned to what it is that you want to manifest, right? You want to grow these little seedlings, right? You want to grow this garden that you planted. Well, then keep focus on that, right? Your attention creates reality. And if you keep showing up for what it is that you put your mind to, not necessarily your mind, just your attention, your focus, as I said, then the universe is going to conspire, right? And to trust into that is counterintuitive for the ego. But when you find this reading, maybe it's time in this time space, whenever you find it, to let go of the ego, right? And to trust the universe conspiring if you show up and keep your focus on what it is that you want to manifest. There's joy and happiness for you. That's the center here in the spread here, right? Three of Cups, joy, happiness. Wake up, and next to the Judgment card, next to the High Priestess, there's things we can't control. You know, the High Priestess works with these energies that you can't control. The Magician is all about force and willpower. The High Priestess is aware of the forces that you can't see, that you can't control. Your subconscious energies, so to speak. Things that are just beyond what we can comprehend. And if you just accept that, if you just accept that there are things that you can't control and there are things that you don't understand fully, instead of trying to understand them, instead of trying to force them to be a certain way and to act a certain way, just wake up to your limitations and be blessed with all these potentials. Because the universe, as I said, is conspiring if you just focus your energy on what it is that you want. Actually, the universe is conspiring whatever you focus your energy on. If you focus your energy on worries and on, I don't know, ego stuff, control, holding on, being really serious about stuff, and trying to force things to happen. If you focus on fear, guilt, shame, for example, the universe will deliver, because it will direct all of the manifestation energy in that direction, but you are holding the focus for that direction, right? So be strong enough, trust the universe, High Priestess energy, that if you focus your attention, if you are attending to your garden, the neocortex is a garden, the neocortex is your thinking mind. The thinking mind is a garden. Attend to that garden and focus your attention, and not just your intellectual attention, but your heart space, your emotions. Focus that onto what it is that you want to manifest, and stop trying to do it all on your own, It's not a nut you can crack with your intellect. If you want to work with these energies, the High Priestess knows that. The Strength card, that's not the Magician. There are two cards with this infinity symbol, right? The Magician, which is all about force, and this is a much more gentle energy with the Strength card. She's not wrestling this lion, she's taming it, Taming by your focus. What are you putting your concentration on? What are you concentrating on, I should say? Yeah, it's the Five of Wands. It's kind of not it's not a struggle, It's not the Five of Swords. It's the Five of Wands. It's a training. It's an exercise. It's something you do as a daily practice. It's not something that you figure out once with your mind and then you just got it. No, it's a practice. You have to do this every day. You have to show up every day and have some discipline. But have some discipline in making joy and happiness a center part of your daily routine, basically. So do something, whether it is meditation or going for long walks or whatever you do, that brings you joy and happiness. And use that energy to build a life that is yours, that makes sense for you. And there's also the Three of Pentacles, so working with other people, having a good time with other people, working with other people, right? You don't have to do all on your own. That's the Five of Pentacles and the Four of Pentacles, sorry. Four of Pentacles is all about holding on to what you already got, which is a good idea, right? But realizing that there's so much more for you, that you're kind of manifesting into your life, that you're growing into your life. And you do this by focus your attention on it. Let's do some clarifiers. Okay, so what shows up? The first card that I picked was the Seven of Pentacles. Shows up kind of clarified by the Seven of Pentacles. But I'm putting this card onto the Strength card because I was actually focusing on the Strength card when I pulled this clarifier card. So, yeah, it's kind of, reassuring what I said. Attend to your seedlings. What do you want for your life, right? make a list. Make a list. What is important for you? What really brings you joy, you know? There are certain things you have to do, but there are things that you want to do. What do you want to do? How does your life, your ideal life look like? And what do you have to do in order to get there? What are the seedlings that you have to plant and nurture? You can't just plant them and run away from them. That's this mindset of that's the mindset of the intellect. You know, I've just figured it out and then I'm done. No, you have to attend it. You have to work with these energies and you have to conspire with the universe, allow the universe to conspire. Now is clarifying the 7 of Pentacles with the 4 of Pentacles, and it's again showing up again, right? It seems like you already got something, but you're building, you're adding to it, you know? You're perfecting something. 2 cards came out for the clarifier of the High Priestess. Let's just take 2. We have, again, that's the 3rd card that I'm pulling as a clarifier. We have the 5 of Wands, which is not a struggle. It's just a training, you know? You're learning something. And what you're learning is to trust the universe, to conspire on whatever you put your focus on. If you focus on guilt, fear, shame, the universe will send the energy in that direction, which is, more guilt, fear, shame. You don't want that. So you're attending your garden, your neocortex is a garden. What you think about, what you focus your attention on, right? So there's the 5 of Wands again, right? Clarifying the High Priestess, and there's a 2nd card that came out. This is the King of Wands. So rulership over your passion, right? This is again kind of corresponding with the Strength card, you know? You're the master of your fire energy, of your passion, right? You're not forcing that lion to do something, you're taming the lion, right? It's a very gentle approach. The King of Pentacles. Okay, clarifying the 10 of Swords. Yeah. Let's just see what comes up. Because the first idea, when I thought about this combination, well, is this idea of being rich and successful, right? Going to die, you know? Question mark. That's one thought I had when I saw this combination. But the 2nd clarifier card that I pulled was the 3 of Cups, clarified by the 10 of Pentacles. And the 10 of Pentacles is fulfillment. All of your little seedlings, all of your seedlings here with the 7 of Pentacles are coming to fruition. Is that the word? You know? And there's a difference here. There's an idea that you are the King of Pentacles, or going to be you as the King of Pentacles, you know, sitting on the throne, wearing the crown, you know, being in the center of attention. And compare that to, I'm going to show this, not sure if you see this, compare that to the 10 of Pentacles. The 10 of Pentacles is wealth, abundance, and prosperity, but not taking the center stage, right? Not being the center of attention, but doing something, taking a step back, and don't make it about the ego. Make it about the end result or the service itself, you know? Make it about joy, you know? This is kind of you planting your seeds, right? You're planting your seeds. But if you do that from an ego perspective and make it all about you as the King of Pentacles, so to speak, I'm the center, it's about me, blah, blah. That's the ego idea. And this is kind of the wrong idea here. That's the wrong approach here. Make it primarily about joy and happiness. Enjoy what it is that you're doing while you're doing it. And you will just create something beautiful, effortless, right? And there is wealth, abundance, and prosperity in it. But the guy here, you know, it's the magician, you know, but he's not taking center stage, you know? There's no, you know, if you compare these two cards, this is all about me, 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 right? Not a good idea, very ego-focused. This is something, you create something beautiful, something abundant, something beautiful, but the most important thing is not you as the person or the ego, but joy and happiness, and sharing this joy and happiness with other people. And then you're just creating this beautiful scenery full of abundance, right? And you kind of, how do you say this? You just, you know, you build something that is greater than yourself, greater than ego ideas. You're waking up to this. There's the Judgment card, you know, and it has been a struggle, and it has been an intellectual struggle, because you try to figure it out by the intellect, maybe. You try to understand it, right? And that's why not, right? Try to understand it. But the real magic, or the real universe conspiring thing is happening when you take a step back, take a step back from your ego and trust the universe. And this trusting the universe thing is not, you know, if you're used to be in your mind most of the time, right? Telling stories and narratives and who you are and who, well, you know, trusting the universe to conspire and trusting, you have to still do your stuff, right? You still have to attend to your garden and your seedlings, but do it out of joy and happiness, and don't make it about yourself, but make it about the joy that you feel while you're doing it. If you want to create a life full of joy and happiness and abundance, then concentrate on joy and happiness and abundance, but not trying to figure it out intellectually, but actually doing it, right? It's a daily practice, you know? There's the Sun card, clarifying the Four of Pentacles. And the Four of Pentacles, you already got so much, right? You're not the King of Pentacles, but you're wearing a little crown, and you got so much already. But there's so much more. Where's the joy? Where's the happiness? Where are the people, right? Relationships, joy, happiness. Focus on that. There's the Queen of Cups and the Three of Pentacles, right? And there's the Two of Wands clarifying the Five of Wands. Bottom of the deck is the Page of Cups, you know? Yeah. Again, a reminder to focus on your feelings, focus on joy and happiness. Yeah, I hope it makes sense to you. If it does, share, like, subscribe, leave a comment, by the way. Tell me what you think about it. And I mean, I think I have 10 subscribers now. I'm going to answer all of your comments. That's for sure. So Lightship Earth, that's the Oracle card, Blue Angel Oracle deck number 40. Let me just read this to you. Yeah, personal and planetary healing. And it's exactly the time we're in. Personal and planetary healing. Okay, I just read it to you. The Earth is a living consciousness currently being flooded with higher vibrational energies. These very same energies are flowing through you. In being aware of this, you will be better able to integrate these new energies. Keep an open heart and mind, and you will see this time is a joyful one. Do not allow yourself to be drawn into the fear that exists. This is a time of personal and planetary healing. You and the Earth are moving towards higher states of awareness. Imagine the Earth in your mind's eye. Send love and light to everyone, to every living thing, every blade of grass, and every atom of light. Send love to yourself, send love to your friends, your family, and those who have passed. Wish them all a happy return, for we shall all reappear in the future. And though this time will never come again, it will also never cease. Okay, so I think the most important line here is, do not allow yourself to be drawn into the fear that exists. And you will be better able to integrate these new energies if you keep an open heart and mind, and you will see this is a time of joy. Okay, and the center of this reading is the abundance, the Ten of Pentacles, abundance, wealth, abundance, and prosperity manifestation in its fullest. That is not about you as an ego, but it's about joy and happiness. And there's also the connection aspect to other people. That seems to be important because it shows up in your work with the Three of Pentacles, and in friendship, in joy and happiness, center of your reading. So I just sum this up by telling you that you have to make it a daily practice. Carve out space and time in your daily time, in your day, where you focus your attention on what it is that you want to create. We kind of all a little programmed, not just a little programmed, actually pretty heavily programmed, to look for the negative stuff, and overthink stuff. Guilt, fear, shame is a big factor, right? But make it a practice to be mindful of your thoughts and where you put your attention on. So if you realize, I'm thinking, I'm overthinking, I'm, falling down in frequency into guilt, fear, shame, then deliberately change your focus. Go for a walk, do some sport, fitness, whatever, do some exercise, whatever works for you. You can clean your apartment, you can cook something nice for you. You can, focus your attention on what it is that, you can't focus your attention on joy and happiness all the time, but you can raise your frequency, right? You can take ownership of your own focus, right? And not go back into conflict or worry or guilt, fear, shame. You're not this lion, that's the King of Wands here as well. This Strength card lady, right? She's not fighting the lion, because fighting the lion is a trick, right? To capture your energy. If you engage in fights, if you engage in guilt, fear, shame, things like that, lower frequency energies, you're taking the energy away from your little seedlings, from joy and happiness, from what you want in your life. But the universe will deliver, right? And you're waking up to that truth that the universe is always delivering. The universe is always sending the energy to whatever you focus on. So make it a daily practice. It is a practice. You can understand it intellectually, but you have to apply it. This is the reading to remind you to apply it and apply it and apply it. And if you forget to apply it, then remember to apply it and apply it again. Only people who are not happy with themselves are mean to others. Remember that, always. Move and the way will open. Focus your attention on what you want to create, and the universe will conspire. We are called to be architects of the future, not its victims. Buckminster Fuller. But I don't like the word architect in here, because architect is something, very planned and deliberate and intellectual. But I would like to, we are called to be the gardeners, okay? Neocortex is a garden. We are called to be the gardeners of our future, because the plants that we grow in our neocortex and our heart space too, these grow with the help of the universe on their own, right? We just have to make sure that we provide the fertile ground, that we care for these little seedlings. One more, and everything will fall into place. I like this one more. It took me many years of vomiting up all the filth that I've been taught about myself and half-belief before I was able to walk on the earth as though I had a right to be here. You have a right to be here. Never forget that. That's James Baldwin, by the way. And I put that in the center with the Tree of Cups, clarified by the Ten of Pentacles. Love yourself, respect yourself, know that you deserve all the blessings in the world, and wake up to that. Wake up to the truth that the universe is always conspiring, sending the energy to whatever you focus on, both intellectually and emotionally. So focus on joy and happiness, focus on, I think there's this message of opening up to people again, both in work-related situations and in your free time or in your social life. But the most important thing is, whatever you do, don't make it about the ego, me, me, me. Make it about the joy that you experience while you're doing it, and everything will fall into place, right? Don't be trapped into arguments. Don't be trapped into guilt, fear, shames, or worries. Focus on what you want to create in your life. And that's all I got. Now I'm shutting up. I hope you liked it. I hope it resonated with you. If it did, share, like, subscribe, leave a comment. Thank you very much for that. And hopefully see you next time. Now, Daya, my friend. Ciao.